In the last episode, Crassus reached the open land near Carrhae. No mountains, no walls, no place to hide, just desert and the sky. And waiting for him was a man Rome did not understand. His name was Surena. Young, brilliant, dangerous. And he didn't bring a slow army of heavy infantry like Rome. He brought speed, he brought horses, he brought a different kind of war. This episode is not about glorious speeches. This episode is about the trap, how Parthian horse archers surrounded 7 Roman legions, how Roman courage turned into execution, and how the richest man in Rome watched his army die under a rain of arrows. This is Surena's trap. This is Carrhae. First, understand the two machines of war. Rome fight like a wall, shields locked, discipline absolute. Legionaries trained to close the distance, smash the enemy, and finish the fight face to face. Parthian fight like the wind. Horse archers could shoot while riding away. They did not need to stand still. They didn't need to trade blows. They needed only space and arrows. Surena also had heavy cavalry, the cataphracts, men and horses covered in armor. When they charged, they hit like thunder. So the place was simple and deadly. First, surround the Romans. Second, never let them rest. Third, force them to break formation. Fourth, crush whatever runs. Crassus still believed Romans still would decide everything. Surena already knew the desert would decide everything. When the Parthians appeared, Crassus ordered his army into a dense square, shields outward, men packed tight. A Roman fortress made of flesh and iron. It looked strong. It looked unbreakable. But Surena didn't attack that square like a Roman enemy. He circled it. Parthian banners moved around the Roman lines. Horse archers rode in close, released their arrows, and vanished into dust. Again and again and again, the Romans waited for a real charge, a fair fight, a moment to lock shields and push forward. That moment never came, because Surena's war was not fair. It was designed to empty Roman water, Roman strength, and Roman hope before the final blow. Then the sky changed. Arrows, not dozens, not hundreds, a storm. They slammed into shields. They found gaps. They pierced arms, legs, necks. They turned courage into noise and blood. Roman soldiers were trained for battle. But this was not a battle of minutes. This was a battle of hours. Heat pressed down. Fast grow. Dust filled every breast, and still the arrows fell. Some Romans shouted to advance. Some wanted to chase the riders. That was exactly what Surena wanted. Because the moment a Roman line breaks and opens to pursue, the horse archers turn and the circle closes tighter. Discipline held for a moment. But even iron softens under fire that never stops. Then came one of the most tragic decisions of the day. Crassus's own son, Publius, led the force out to break the trap. Cavalry, light troops, hope. They charged toward the Persians, and for a moment it looked like the enemy was running. But it was the oldest trick in the East. The Parthians pulled back, drove Publius farther from the main army, then turned, surrounded, cut off, destroyed. When Publius fell, the message returned to Crassus in the most brutal way. Not only had Rome lost men, Crassus had lost his son. Imagine the silence inside the square. Imagine a father hearing that the future of his son was already dead in the sand. From that moment, Carrhae was no longer only a military disaster, it was personal. By nightfall, the Roman army was broken in spirit. Even if some shields still stood, thousands were dead or dying. Water was almost gone. Retreat looked like the only path left. Crassus had marched east for gold and glory. Instead, he found a lesson written in blood. Rome could conquer cities, but the desert belonged to those who knew how to fight inside it. Surena's trap had worked. The circle had closed. The richest man of his age was no longer a conqueror. He was a survivor for one more night. In the next episode, I will tell you how Crassus tried to escape, how talks turned into betrayal, and how the man who wanted to stand beside Caesar and Pompey ended his story at Carrhae. This was Surena's trap, and Rome would never forget it.